Hey guys, I imagine a lot of you didn't expect to see a video like this because we had already ranked the Battle Network for navis, but this time we're doing something a little bit more interesting. So I had ChatGPT redo the algorithm a little bit, and this time we made it so that the navis will be matched up against other navis with closer ELO. And this is where things got pretty interesting. We had a pretty clearly defined hierarchy in the conclusion of the Battle Network 4 CPU versus, but I felt that this ended up tightening loose ends, and the hierarchy is now a bit more defined. So this is a little bit of the Python output. And let's begin. Starting with Aquaman. Aquaman is on the lower end. Not as bad as Roll, but pretty weak overall. I'll place him around low C to mid C. The next base, well, we know where he's gonna go. Base is SS tier. The absolute king of Battle Network 4. Undisputable. He is unstoppable. In fact, I think the only one that can stop him is the Battle Network 5 variant of base, but I still need to do a bit more digging on that. The invulnerability frames of Battle Network 5 base may be different than the invulnerability frames of Battle Network 4 base. The next, Burn Man. We're going to put him around... this one's kind of hard, because when we redid the ELOs, he was ranking as one of the highest navis. I feel very tempted to put him at S+. If we look at the ELO rankings over here in the redone algorithm, Burnman's ELO is 2183. That is the third highest ELO. Yeah, it's the third highest ELO. So I feel that he deserves a place in S+, but some can argue that he belongs in S. Duo. Duo is S+, for obvious reasons. His ELO in the competitive, rather than the randomized algorithm, in the more competitive algorithm, is 2916. And even though this win rate's low, it's only 42%, it's because he kept getting matched with base, who is 3633, which is absurd. And very much like in Battle Network 5, as I will be posting that video soon, there's a huge gap between number 1 and number 2, and number 2 and everyone below, with the exception of Thunderman versus Duo, which, yeah, there's a gap, and it's a fairly massive gap. At least I think Thunderman does a very good job at closing the gap. Fireman's very weak. Fireman's ELO was around 1235, so around C. Gutsman, pretty bad. Gutsman's ELO is only 897. Goes into D tier. And if you guys aren't aware and you're watching this video for the first time, I have the videos on my channel. If you if you ever want to see any of these guys fight, check out those videos. Kendo Man was weak. His ELO is 573. even lower than that of Gutsman. In my opinion, I should create an F tier or an E tier. Let's create an E tier, actually. Okay, this is better. Okay, next. Junkman. Junkman was very strong. Rated at 1996. Definitely belongs in S. Very strong navi. And him and his brother or cousin, whatever you may refer to him as, has a very similar ELO. But we're gonna get to him soon enough. Laserman. Laserman was dominant, but not as dominant as I thought. Only 1629 ELO. That's it. Only 1629. I believe B would suffice. High B. Metal Man. While Junkman had an ELO of 1996, Metal Man had an ELO of 1927. S. Numberman did surprisingly well. Numberman has an ELO of 1594 with a 47% competitive win rate. Not bad. Put him around B. Like mid B. Protoman, not as competent. Basically, somewhere around C. Only 1341 ELO. Like high C. We should move. Keep Gutsman in D tier. And Roll is the weakest navi by far. Only 127 ELO. Really, she should be in her own tier, F, in my opinion. The absolute weakest navi. Searchman, 1553 ELO, with a competitive win rate of about 46%. Belongs in B. Shademan, ELO 1559. Round B. So far, no one's in A. Sparkman, 1780, with a competitive win rate of 54%. A. Very solid navi. He can teleport around, which gives him a lot of mobility, and he has quite a bit of invulnerability in his teleportation. Thunderman, S. Not S plus, but I think S would suffice. His ELO, competitive ELO, is 2097. I think that's the fourth highest, if I'm not mistaken, with a win rate of 59%. I think the only reason he's not higher than Burnman is, well, Burnman is already very dominant navi. Burnman actually has a positive matchup against Thunderman, which makes sense. His burn canisters can block Thunderman's projectiles. Topman, not strong at all. Topman 1197. I would put him around high D, maybe low C. Video Man, very low, 414. So, right here in E. Windman, 1573 ELO. So right around here, around mid B. We got a nice little distribution going here. And Woodman, very strong navi. Has an ELO of 2001 and a competitive win rate of 58%. So I'd place them around here. Maybe we could bump one of these two down to A. Maybe. Or maybe we could bump both of these two down to A. I think S-Class really should be preserved for those above 2k ELO, 2k or above. So we can actually bump these guys down. And once we did that, we're getting this nice bell curve. Alright, so these are the redone ELO rankings, and I'm going to leave the data, the Python output, in the description. Thank you for watching the video and have a nice day.